Let's say you're feeling cloudy about what to do next, feeling cloudy about ways to move forward, and Sananga lifts those veils, right? Releases the cloudiness so that you can see your path more clearly. Hello everyone, Zoe here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am very excited to talk to you because I'm going to be sharing with you my experience doing a 21-day Sananga dieta. So Sananga is a very powerful plant medicine, which I have shared with you before on my channel. I'll be sure to leave that video down below because that goes into more detail about Sananga, and it was in collaboration with 4 Visions Market. So Mariah Ganesa kindly explains more of the spiritual side of doing a Sananga dieta and how this sacred plant medicine has been used for thousands of years prior. But today I'm going to be sharing with you my personal experience doing a 21-day dieta. So that means intentionally using Sananga for 21 days in a row with a powerful intention to create results in my life. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so Sananga is a very powerful plant medicine. I have it here to show you guys. And I recently did a 21-day dieta, as I mentioned. So this is administering Sananga into my eyes for 21 days in a row with a powerful intention. This is actually my second time doing this. And the first time that I did a Sananga dieta, I used Sananga from 4 Visions Market as well, but I used medium strength. And this one here was strong. And I thought the medium stung when I put it in my eyes. So just to give you guys a little visual of what it kind of looks like when you self-administer Sananga is I would lie on the ground in the evening right before I'm about to do my evening meditation, hape, and just the nightly ceremonies that I have with myself. And I would lie down on the ground and I would take the Sananga and administer 1 drop into one eye and 1 drop into the other eye. And to be honest, it really stings. It's powerful. It feels like chili peppers. So if you guys have ever chopped up jalapeno peppers and accidentally touch your eye, it's kind of like that experience. But the interesting thing about Sananga is that, you know, even though it feels very uncomfortable when it's administered into your eyes, you know that it's like a cleansing burn, right? There's this difference between something being painful and dangerous to something being painful and cleansing. And that's been my experience with Sananga. So because this is very strong, in comparison to the last time I did a dieta, I could kind of drop them in both eyes quite quickly. It takes me some time, like a few minutes with the strong Sananga to be able to administer to the other eye because my eyes are just tearing up and energy is moving throughout my body very quickly. So that's kind of the visual if you guys want to picture me like lying on the ground, like putting this stuff into my eyes. And you know, in comparison between medium strength Sananga and strong, I would definitely recommend that if you are called to do a Sananga dieta, if you do feel like this would be beneficial in your life, to start with, you know, like a light strength or a medium strength first, because this strong stuff was no joke. It was no joke, okay? It was definitely, we'll get into it. We'll get into what happened, but you know, I wanted to do this again because I felt called to do it. So anytime when I am taking part in intentional fasts of any kind or like a dieta like this, there's always a powerful intention for myself. And Sananga, being a plant medicine for the eyes, is meant to lift the veils within the eyes, right? So this allows you to see more clearly in your life in different areas, like, you know, metaphorically, and also it actually helps your eyesight, which is very powerful. I'm someone who really cares about my eyesight. I love my eyes and I try to take care of them in the ways that I wear blue light blocker glasses and just, you know, take care of myself. Wash my makeup off at night, things like that. The eyes are very special. So yeah, my intention in moving through these next 21 days of Sananga was to remove and release any resistance around abundance and love in my life, right? So a powerful intention. And I decided to begin this dieta after I had a psilocybin ceremony, which I shared with you, which was my Pleiadian Awakening video. So I had this Sananga in my fridge for quite some time. Sananga is meant to be kept in the fridge. That's also a note for any of you who do decide to get Sananga, is that it needs to be kept into the fridge. So I had the Sananga there for a couple months, and I was debating when I would do my next dieta, but I wait until I'm called. And after this specific ceremony, it just was time for me to do it. And even though I was resistant to it, right, because I knew that it would sting to put in my eyes, I knew that it was painful, I know that the transformation and the benefits outweigh all of that, right? Similar to, as I've shared with you guys, my journey through doing ayahuasca or the master cleanse. I do these things that bring up resistance and require me to work up courage to take them, because the benefits and the transformations are long lasting and so profound and so beautiful. So that's why I, can stand to lie on the ground and self-administer these drops that kind of feel like chili peppers into my eyes, right? So there is a deep spiritual intention and deep spiritual connection and draw to doing things like this. So with the intention of releasing resistance around abundance and love into my life, right? So Sananga is a very powerful, energy mover, I would say. So upon taking the Sananga the first couple of days, I was shocked that how painful it was in comparison to the previous medium strength Sananga. Like I said, strong Sananga is no joke. This had me immediately tear up, but also yell, right? So almost every night that I took Sananga for these 21 days, energy would move and I would just be like, ah, and like moving my limbs. That's how intense the energy purging was for me. But because I've previously done Sananga, because I've done plant medicine ceremonies, because I've done breath work and all sorts of different healing modalities, I understand what it feels like when energy is moving throughout my body and when I'm purging and when I'm releasing things. So that was what that experience appeared like for me. But then what came from these next weeks moving forward in my life, as I said, the plant medicine Sananga allows for you to see more clearly into these different areas of your life. So within these 21 days, my life has looked completely different from when I started. I do tend to vlog now, which gives you guys kind of a daily-ish, a weekly-ish update on my life. But from the time in which I finished the psilocybin ceremony, started my Sananga dieta until I finished it, life completely shifted, just like it had the previous time that I did Sananga. So this is very powerful medicine, very powerful when you place a intention behind it. So in regards to abundance, so what did I create, or what manifested itself into my life based on my intention to release any resistance or any blocks around financial abundance or just abundance in general? So what I found was that I started to just feel more abundant right away, right? So as you guys know, end of 2020, I was going through a dark night of the soul. I've been very open in sharing that with you guys, and I finally started to feel good again, right? And the Sananga helped me to like really feel into feeling abundant again, like abundant, but also magical. I felt like this essence of life being magical was non-existent for quite some time. And through that, I felt more into abundance. I created more abundance in my life, like as in manifesting magical money appeared, experiences appeared, synchronicities appeared. I became more open to the magic of my life, right? So I was releasing resistance intentionally around this so that I could see more clearly the magic and the abundance that was already all around. And when I'm able to see that and focus in on that and feel gratitude for that, more presented itself. But I would say the main shifts, like tangible things that I can give you, is that prior to Sananga, I knew I wanted to hire a new coach to take me to the next level. I wanted to put myself into an uncomfortable situation so that I could grow financially, and also just uncomfortably with a coach, because I know that the transformation's in the transaction, and I know that power with the energy exchange and really committing to the up level. So I hired a new coach, and that experience has been super abundant for me. He is a hypnotist, so it speaks a lot about I actually went to the same school as Dr. Joe Dispenza, so there's a lot of similarities in that content that I'm receiving on a weekly basis as to Dr. Joe's content, which is my favorite content. Like, I love, I always feel so inspired about everything that has to do with rewiring your brain and your subconscious mind and all the power that you have as an individual to change things for yourself, right? To change your own life. Love that message, because any and all of you out there are so capable of changing your life in any way that you choose. You're so capable of creating in any way that you choose. So hiring the coach, committing to that, that allowed me to then expand into this new realm of possibilities for my life, which also is in regards to abundance and magic and love, right? Also the intention around love. And it wasn't just specifically, romantic love. I just wanted to release the resistance I had around just love in general, about being open to the love of the universe. So in hiring this coach, there's all these different bridge of incidents that came into my life and really appeared in these 21 days. So the coaching has been super powerful. Joining a mastermind has been super powerful. So I'm just gonna adjust this a little. You guys are a bit crooked. Yeah, just overall feeling abundant and magical again, and I can't tell you guys how grateful I am for that, from going through such a difficult time and not feeling any of that. Even though I knew that it was all around me, it was like I was dealing with deeper, darker stuff that needed to be purged and come to the surface. So I really felt like the Sananga intentionally did that job of allowing me to see more clearly. Upon hiring the coach and also expanding that realm of possibilities, all of a sudden I was granted the ability to see more clearly into my business, things that I had been desiring to change. I hired additional assistants to take on different projects for me. So that really started to expand very fast and very effortless and easy, in a place where I felt blocked for quite some time, not sure what to do next, not feeling like I had the energy to take on certain things, not feeling like I knew who. It felt more like I would be trying to make things work in business versus allowing that flow. I am a projector, so I definitely always honor how I am feeling, but it can be frustrating when you're feeling blocked in a certain area that you want to grow, like your business. And so I received a lot of intuitive downloads and notions, and people presented themselves to help me take those next steps, right? To create and cultivate even more abundance in my life. And I would say, one of the big things that came from the Sananga Dieta, that came in the last week of the medicine, right? So 21 days, 3 weeks time, was that I finally anchored myself on where it was that I was going to move. So this has been obviously bubbling and coming to the surface since last year at some point, and doing Sananga really prompted me to do some inner child work that needed to happen to allow me to, be able to see more clearly what little Zoe and what my soul wanted to do next, where it wanted to be next. So I also took part in Reiki healing, as you guys know. These are all bridge of incidences. One thing that I want to be clear is that Sananga, it's not about the tangible results. It's not like take Sananga and you're gonna win the lottery and make a lot of money, or take Sananga and the soulmate's gonna walk into your life the next day. Those things could very well happen, and that's amazing, but it's about you being able to see more clearly about what needs to be done or what you should follow to move forward in your life. It's almost like, let's say you're feeling cloudy about what to do next, feeling cloudy about ways to move forward, and Sananga lifts those veils, right? Releases the cloudiness so that you can see your path more clearly. And I finally, I can't tell you how unsettled I've felt deeper inside. You guys know I shared my meltdown on the master cleanse of not knowing where home is and all this, and where to go next, and not feeling like I wanted to be in Toronto anymore. And Sananga really allowed me to, release the fog, release the clouds, and anchor myself. And, it all happened in one day when this decision was made. I was prompted and triggered into healing my inner child. And when I healed little Zoe, because where I was, what I healed was that I didn't listen to her. Right? There were certain times in which I've shut my inner child down, in which we all have when we're younger, but we have to go back and we have to integrate her. this happened in a way that I suppressed little Zoe. I suppressed her dreams, her ambitions, the essence of my soul in a way, I guess you could say, and this became very, very clear to me. The inner child work triggered after the Reiki healing, which I shared with you in a vlog, so feel free, I'll leave the videos that I'm referencing down below. But I realized that I had this deep underlying fear of my dad not being proud of me, and then I went to work on healing that. And then what came up for me next was that I had all this confrontation around society's norms, right? And society's norms and society's structures and the influence and constructs that built in my own life were the things that were clouding my vision. I wasn't allowing myself to get in tune with myself because I was too focused on the outer reality, right? But upon integrating more and more of like little Zoe, especially this one day when I was triggered, I realized that like little Zoe had always, since the past 2 years of being back in Toronto, has always been sending me like little messages of like, I want to travel again, I want to have another adventure chapter. And I suppressed her. Each time that I bought new furniture to keep myself grounded or tried to settle in roots in some way, all this trying energy, trying to make sure that I would stay planted was basically what I was doing in all these different ways, and I didn't see it. Like I said, buying furniture. It was like the more that I could commit to owning larger things meant that I would stay here. Which is why the ego presented resistance when I decided I was going to move. The first thing I went to was, what about your furniture? But there are other ways too, little habits and little things that I do to keep myself here that I became very present to. Like the fact that the person that I saw last year, I wanted that relationship to work so bad. And I really saw it for what it was. I wanted it to work so that I would actually have something to anchor me here, because I knew that I would leave again. And I knew that that would come head to head with society's norms, okay? It would butt heads with what's normal. And this is where my work is another layer of releasing society's expectations on me for the age that I'm at, for what I'm doing with my life. Like I live a life that's not society's norms, and I understand that, and that's what makes me the happiest. But what was being suppressed was little Zoe trying to guide me and say, we still want to have adventure, like that's who we are. It doesn't just stop because you are almost 30 and this is what like the norm is for people your age, or this is where they're at. And what happened was I integrated this little part of myself, and she just said, this is where you're going next. And finally I knew, and I know that Sananga played such a key role in that, because it came in layers of me being able to see these ways in which I had blocked myself. I was blocking myself in different forms, in different layers, and in different constructs. And when I finally decided this is where I'm moving, it was so wild, because within that day I had like a bunch of different contacts to help me set up this move. Everything just aligned, and my heart, I have not felt the same energy in my heart since I decided I was moving to Rome. Like I just accessed something inside of myself that I couldn't even sleep once this decision was made, because the energy that was pulsating from my heart, this pure divine love for the self and pure divine love for the journey, just started to just exude itself from me. And it was so thrilling and so exciting, and it still is. Like I'm so sure on this move, and everything's fallen into place so perfectly, and I'm seeing everything for what it is. I'm seeing this chapter in Toronto very clearly for what it was, and when I see it very clearly for what it was, I can trust myself to move forward. It's so beautiful, just the amount of awareness that I received in 21 days. Like the transformations, the changes, the shifts, fearlessly going places within myself. For those 21 days, I just can't thank this plant medicine enough, but I also can't thank myself enough, right? Because as much as it is Sananga, this is just an ally, a teacher to have, something, a modality to use, a sacred plant medicine to experience. I know that I'm the one who did the work, because I lie there on the ground each night and move through the resistance of putting this in my eyes, and I intentionally moved through the resistance in my own life and was willing to look at things differently. And it allowed me to have this huge, beautiful transformation. And so, you know, as I'm going to wrap this up today, the big shifts and changes are just like with the intention is that I saw more clearly what next steps were. I removed the clouds, you know, I hired the coach, I took next steps in my business. Things that hadn't been done in months just got done because I was intending to lift the veil, to see more clearly. And also in regards to the move, finally I was able to see more clearly that I needed to integrate little Zoe and allow her to share with me the messages that she needed to share so that I could move forward. So there are so many different layers and ways in which the Sananga Dieta worked for me, and I worked with it. Right? This was a call from my heart space to do it. It was a curiosity. It was just this inner knowing of like, it is time to do this. You have the medicine, you're doing this for 21 days. And other like benefits is like my skin completely cleared up, my eyes, like I can see things more vividly now, and that's just such a beautiful experience in itself. Like I'll leave the video down below with Mariah Ganessa going into more details about Sananga and what it has been used for in the past, but hunters would use Sananga so they could see more clearly at night, so it really helps to improve the eyesight, and I do believe that I've gotten those benefits from it. And yeah, if you guys are interested, I do have a promo code Zoe Ariel, gets you 20% off of For Visions Market, where you can get the Sananga, the same Sananga that I'm showing you. This video is not sponsored, I just have received so much beautiful transformation from these plant medicine teachers, and that's why I wanted to bring it forth for you today. And I wanted to talk about my experience because my life through these 21 days of doing Sananga shifted and changed more than it had in like 6 months. So that's what I'm saying, is that it creates this powerful momentum to see everything more clearly. And yeah, anyways, I hope this video inspired you guys or helped you in some way. I am co-hosting the Modern Psychedelics podcast with my friend Lana, which I have shared with you, and that has officially launched as well. So if plant medicine and psychedelics is something that interests you, please be sure to check out the podcast down below, and it would mean a lot to us if you left a review. And I'm wishing you the most beautiful, abundant day, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye!